Whether you like it or not, there will be some Miami Hurricanes players that hit the portal after spring football. And in today's video, I've got 5 specific players that I think will be gone in just a few weeks. What's going on, Canes fans? I'm not going to waste your time with a bunch of disclaimers at the start of this video, but let me hit you with 2 of them just right quick. First off, do not mistake my predictions for me hoping that these specific players leave. It's absolutely no hate at all whatsoever, and if you take it that way, then you're interpreting this video completely wrong, because there are going to be some players that do leave, and there's nothing wrong with discussing it because, again, whether you like it or not, it's just part of college football now. And to be completely honest, I think there's probably only been 3 players over the years that I've specifically actually wanted to leave. I was hoping that they would leave the program because I felt like that it was better for Miami if they did, and that would be kicker Bubba Baxa, punter Zach Fiegels, and quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. And lastly, I know that a few of these might sound a little wild, but that's what the comment section is for. So let me know why you think I'm right or why you think I'm wrong, and maybe plug in some of the players that you believe might be leaving that I don't mention in this video. And you definitely want to stick around for the last one, because I really feel like some Canes fans are going to be upset about it. And I hope I'm wrong. So kicking off the list is wide receiver Michael Redding. Redding came to Miami as a 4-star back in 2020, but has only totaled 19 catches over the last 4 seasons. 15 of those 19 were back in 2022, and then he had 0 catches this last season. He spent most of his time playing special teams. One quick bit of info that I had forgotten that I just want to plug in here is Mario Cristobal had actually offered Redding back while he was the head coach at Oregon. But when it comes to Redding, my reasoning behind it is I just feel like he still has too many guys ahead of him, and he's just running out of time. Miami has guys like Jacoby George, Isaiah Horton, Shamar Kirk, who just keeps looking better and better during spring, Robbie Washington, and let's not forget about JoJo, who's nipping at everybody's heels. Next up is one that might confuse some people, and that's quarterback Jakari Brown. Now hear me out for a second, because I know you're already typing up the comment. I know about the statements he made on that podcast, and I'm very well aware that he knew the coaching staff was planning on bringing in a one-and-done QB, and he still chose to stay. Trust me, I know these things. And I personally have a ton of respect for Jakari Brown. He stuck around through thick and thin, and I do believe that he wants to be a Miami Hurricane, and he wants to play quarterback for the U. However, what happens? This is the big question here. What happens if he's not awarded the title of true QB number 2 at the end of spring? His only competition should be Poffenbarger, because of course Cam Ward has been handed the keys, and I don't really expect them to plan on playing Emory Williams or Judd because he's a freshman. And let's not forget that Poff will have another year of eligibility. So next season in 2025, Jakari would be competing with Poffenbarger, Emory Williams, Judd Anderson, and possibly anyone else that comes in. So what I'm getting at here is at the end of spring, if the depth chart appears to be a 2A, 2B type of situation where it's Jakari Brown or Poffenbarger, or it's Reese Poffenbarger or Jakari Brown, that might not be a good sign for him. Now, if that's not the case, if it comes out and it's Cam Ward QB1, Jakari Brown QB2, Poffenbarger QB3, and so on, then just forget everything I've said for the past few minutes, because then there would be some reasons for him to believe that he could win the starting job in 2025. But otherwise, I feel like that could be kind of a bad sign. And I think that that could mean that he possibly leaves because, there's a difference. I'm trying to think of a way to say this because so many people are going to think that I'm bashing Jakari Brown, and that's absolutely not the case. There's standing on business, and then there's throwing your college career away when you possibly could have started elsewhere. I have zero doubt that Jakari Brown wants to play at Miami. He loves Miami, and the fact that he hasn't left already is kind of crazy when you think about it. But if he ends up falling to what appears to be number 3 or further down, he's pretty athletic. And I do think he's talented, and he brings that dual threat aspect to his game. So he could start elsewhere, even if it's a lesser program. You have to remember that sometimes playing for a lesser program is still better than not playing at all. I'm just saying. Number 3 on my list is safety Brian Balom. Here's the deal with Balom. This will be year 4 at Miami, and he's recorded 14 total tackles. It's been tough for him to earn a starting role, and I'm not sure if that's going to change in 2024. And if you remember, Balom actually announced at the end of the 2022 season that he was going to enter the transfer portal, but then later on, he ended up changing his mind. So in the past, he's actually flirted around with the idea of leaving Miami. And right now in that room, it's tough to say who the starters will be, but I feel like that Balom is sort of in the same boat as Redding. He's running out of time, especially if he does get jumped by, let's say, Zaquan Patterson at some point. And number 4 on my list is offensive lineman Zion Nelson. Poor Zion. Things just haven't really worked out for him at Miami. He's been with the Canes since 2019, and the last time that I even remember him playing in a game was back in 2021. And I think that maybe he played 1 or 2 games in 2022, but the guy's had a lot of injuries. I'm torn on this one because it's not that Zion isn't good enough to play at another school. The bigger question is who would be willing to bring him on given all of the injuries that he's had to deal with. I just feel like Miami going into the 2024 season has plenty of guys that can and will start over Zion. And if that's the case, I wouldn't blame him at all for at least putting some feelers out and gauging the interest. Maybe at the very least, he could snag a small NIL deal somewhere and make a little bit of extra cash and play a little bit before his college career is over. For me, it just feels like for Zion, it might actually be time to get a change of scenery. Like, I understand that doesn't all of a sudden make his injuries not affect him any longer, like if his knees bother him or something like that. But sometimes you do just need to be somewhere else, different mindset, different supporting cast. And it just feels like it's time, So I saved this one for last because I know you're probably going to hate it. But here it goes. Linebacker and or defensive end, I guess, at this point, Malik Bryant. Now, I know he's the one that doesn't fit my whole narrative of been here for a while and wants to see if the grass is greener. I'm just not so sure he fits in with this team and defense right now. And it seems like the coaching staff might not be so sure either. I do think that he could definitely be used at times as a standing defensive end, and you guys know that he's been getting reps there during spring practice. And I'm not saying that Bryant isn't talented or athletic enough to start, but it just feels like that he's in kind of a weird spot at the moment. Don't you think? Like, kind of the odd man out. He's one that I really want to stay. I believe that Malik Bryant has a ton of potential, but again, I had to make this list. This list was not easy to make, but that's my 5 potential players that I think might leave, but who the heck really knows? I know there are going to be some people that see this video as as personal attacks. And Coop, since you're putting this out into the universe, it's actually going to happen now. And I'm going to be pissed at you because my favorite player left and it's all your fault. I'm used to things being all my fault when it comes to the Canes because, I'm the only one who affects the players and the coaches and the team. It's just me. And I'm really, appreciative that so many people believe I hold that much power. Because, boy, let me tell you, if I did, Miami would have already won several more national championships since the last one. But, hey, I'm just saying. Now, I would like to close with adding a few more that I think could leave. I don't want to say honorable mentions because, well, I don't want any of these guys to leave. That's complete opposite. Just some other guys that I wanted to add in, but I wanted to keep this list to 5. So I won't do a deep dive on these guys, but just some other guys for various different reasons that you can probably piece together that I think might leave. And that would be wide receiver Shamar Kirk, defensive back Demetrius Freeney, and possibly linebacker Wesley Besaint. I do think there is a chance that those guys could leave. But as we've said multiple times in the video, I hope that each and every one of these guys stays. But it just doesn't work that way. Miami needs to free up some roster space. We're a bit over the limit at the moment. And there are some other positions where Miami needs some experienced guys, possibly even some one-and-done guys, some leaders, some guys that have experience. And there are some positions that are overloaded a bit and some that are more thin, and we got to do some trade now. So there's going to be some tough conversations that go down. There's going to be some guys that just want to leave. They don't want to be at Miami anymore, or maybe they thought this was their last shot to earn some playing time, and it's looking like it's not going to pan out. And in some cases, there's going to be those talks that happen. They sit down with the coaching staff, and they basically give them a little nudge, and they say, hey, you might want to be looking elsewhere if you plan on playing college football. We all know those conversations happen. As I said, so many people see the portal videos as negativity. It has nothing to do with that. It's part of the game now. So given that some guys are going to leave, as I said, it will happen. Once that window opens up again, that spring window, some guys are going to leave. Let's play hypothetical. Let's make some assumptions. And let's see how accurate we are. Let's see if we can get close. So let me know down in the comment section below. Let's see some participation. Hey, remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.